The sky above Earth was calm, painted in shades of blue and gold. Birds flew over forests and rivers glimmered in the sunlight. On the surface, everything seemed peaceful, but in the dark reaches of space, a storm was approaching. A fleet of enormous ships moved silently through the void, their metal hulls reflecting the distant light of the sun. The Imperial fleet was the pride of an advanced alien civilization. Each ship was armed with weapons powerful enough to destroy entire planets. In the control room of a space station orbiting Earth, Commander Ray watched the approaching fleet. He was a man in his 40s with sharp eyes that had seen many crises but nothing like this. His team worked quickly, monitoring the ship's speed, formation, and weapons. "They are closer than expected," said Lieutenant Mira, pointing to the holographic display. "If they enter Earth's orbit, the first strike will be devastating." Ray nodded, his jaw tight. "We don't have the numbers to fight them head-on," he said. "But we have one advantage they don't know about. Humans are unpredictable." He glanced at the window where the tiny blue planet hung below. It was fragile, but it was home. He thought about the people living in cities, villages, and towns. They did not yet know what was coming. Far below on Earth, people looked up at the sky and saw flashes of light. At first, many thought they were meteors. Satellites and astronomers detected strange energy signatures. Governments quickly realized the truth. Something enormous was approaching. Leaders gathered in secure rooms, watching the screens. They were shocked by the scale of the fleet. The ships were larger than anything humans had ever built. They carried weapons that could vaporize entire cities in minutes. Yet despite the danger, there was a calm determination among humans. Scientists and engineers had been preparing for possibilities like this for decades. Hidden bunkers contained energy weapons, AI-driven drones, and experimental shields. Humans had built these tools not for aggression but for survival, and now survival would be tested. On the space station, Ray continued to study the fleet. He noticed the formation of the ships, the way they moved as one. "They think they are superior," he said quietly. "They have never faced us in battle. They underestimate us because they do not understand human creativity." Mira nodded, impressed by his confidence. "What do you suggest, sir?" she asked. Ray looked at the planet below. "We watch and wait," he said. "We need to learn everything we can before they make the first move. Humans have something no other species has, the ability to adapt in the moment." As the fleet moved closer, the largest ship, the command vessel, opened a communication channel. A voice filled the space station, clear and cold. "Humans of Earth," it said. "You are a minor species. Surrender immediately and your planet will be spared. Refuse and your world will be destroyed." The voice had no warmth, no compassion. It was a voice of power, of certainty, of conquest. Ray turned to Mira and said, "They are arrogant, just as we thought. They think fear will make us surrender. But humans do not give up that easily." On Earth, leaders met in emergency sessions. They consulted military experts and scientists. The decision was unanimous. They would not surrender. Not because they wanted a fight, but because giving in was not an option. Humanity had faced challenges before and had survived. This would be no different. In the night skies of Earth, people watched as the alien fleet approached. Some were terrified, others were in disbelief, and some quietly hoped that humans could defend themselves. Children slept unaware, dreaming of ordinary lives. But above them, humanity's defenders prepared. Engineers calibrated energy shields. Scientists programmed AI drones, and pilots like Ray readied their ships. In a small command room aboard the station, Ray's eyes followed the distant fleet. He felt the weight of responsibility, but he also felt pride. He thought of humans on Earth, strong, intelligent, determined. He whispered to himself, "Let them come. They do not know what humans are capable of." As the fleet moved into the outer orbit, the first hum of alien engines filled space. Humans could feel the tension, a quiet electricity in the air. This was the calm before the storm. Commander Ray gave the final instructions to his team. "Prepare for observation. Record everything. We fight smart, not fast. Humans can win when they think faster than the enemy." Below on Earth, cities and towns went about their last peaceful hours before history would change. The sun continued to shine, oblivious to the massive ships moving silently above. Humanity was about to face a threat like no other. But for the first time, the aliens would see something unexpected. Humans could not be measured by size or weapons. Humans had something they did not anticipate: courage, ingenuity, and the will to survive. The massive alien fleet continued its slow, deliberate approach toward Earth. From space stations and satellites, humans watched the formation of the ships. They were enormous, far larger than anything humans had ever built. Their hulls gleamed like dark metal under the sun. Even from a distance, it was clear these invaders were confident, perhaps too confident. Commander Ray stood at the observation deck of the space station, his hands resting on the railing. He studied the fleet carefully, noticing the patterns in the ship's movements. "They think they are perfect," he said to Lieutenant Mira, "but every machine has a weakness. We just need to find it." Mira glanced at him, impressed by his calm. "Do you really think we can stop them?" she asked. Ray did not answer immediately. He watched as smaller alien scout ships moved ahead of the fleet. They scanned Earth, probing the defenses, analyzing the atmosphere, and calculating humanity's responses. "Stop thinking about stopping them," Ray said finally. "Think about surprising them. Humans survive because we can act when others cannot predict us." Below on Earth, governments had already begun emergency protocols. Cities were being evacuated, and people were moved to secure shelters. Scientists worked around the clock, monitoring the alien signals. Dr. Mara, a leading physicist, studied the alien fleet through data feeds. "Their technology is incredible," she said, "but there are inconsistencies. Their shields are strong, but they are not perfect. Their weapons fire slowly compared to their size." Leo, her assistant, nodded. "So if we act fast, we can exploit those weaknesses," he said. Mara smiled slightly. "Exactly. We need to strike in a way they cannot anticipate." The aliens did not wait long to make their presence known. A communication beam projected across space, forming words in a language humans could understand. "Humans of Earth, surrender now," the message said. "Resistance is meaningless. Our fleet is unmatched. Obey or face destruction." The voice was cold, mechanical, and without mercy. Ray studied the message on the screen. He felt a surge of determination. "They do not understand humans," he said quietly. "They think fear can control us, but they are wrong. Humans fight because we choose to. That is something no machine can predict." On Earth, leaders debated their options. Some argued for negotiation, fearing the power of the alien fleet. But most knew that surrender would only mean the end of humanity. "We cannot give up," said one leader firmly. "Our survival depends on our courage and our strategy. We fight or we die trying." Meanwhile, the alien scouts entered Earth's atmosphere. They hovered silently over cities and oceans, scanning and analyzing. Humans had prepared for this moment. AI drones, hidden in orbit and on the surface, began transmitting false signals to confuse the scouts. Sensors scrambled, making the aliens believe that cities were empty, that defenses were weaker than they really were. In space, Ray and Mira coordinated with pilots and drone operators on Earth. "Keep calm," Ray instructed. "Observe everything. The first move belongs to us, not them." He watched as one scout ship moved closer to a mountain range, attempting to gather detailed data. Using a combination of AI interference and rapid signal changes, humans made the scout believe it was being attacked. The alien ship panicked, sending a warning signal back to the main fleet. The effect was immediate. Alien commanders on the larger ships tried to recalibrate. "What is happening?" one voice demanded in the alien language. Machines whirred, shields flickered, and their confidence wavered for the first time. Humans could not see the fear, but they could sense it in the sudden chaos of signals and movements. Ray smiled at the screen. "This is only the beginning," he said. "They will learn quickly that humans are not predictable." Mira nodded. "It is strange," she said. "They have weapons that could destroy cities instantly, yet they are reacting to us to small signals and tricks." On Earth, Mara and Leo continued their calculations. "We need to prepare for a real attack," Mara said. "But this gives us time. Time to position our energy grids, our shields, and our drones. Time to set traps," Leo agreed. "They expect us to be afraid. They do not expect humans to fight smart."
The alien fleet slowed its advance, scanning the planet more carefully. They had expected surrender, but instead, they faced preparation, strategy, and resistance. The humans below were readying their forces in secret, while Ray and his pilots monitored every move. Night fell on Earth, but the alien ships hovered silently above. Stars shone beyond their massive hulls. People in shelters slept unaware of the immense battle that would soon begin. Humans had faced disasters before, but nothing like this. Yet, despite the fear, there was determination. Humans were preparing to show the universe that courage, intelligence, and unity could overcome even the most powerful enemies. Ray looked out at the alien fleet. He whispered to himself, "Let them come. They will see what humans are capable of." The calm before the storm had ended. First contact had been made, and the game had begun. Humans had not surrendered. They had not hidden. They were ready to fight, and the aliens were about to learn that Earth's defenders were unlike any foe they had ever faced. The night over Earth was deep and quiet, but beneath the calm, humans worked tirelessly. Across the globe, in hidden bunkers and orbital platforms, scientists, engineers, and pilots prepared for what was coming. The alien fleet had not expected resistance. They believed humanity was weak, primitive, and uncoordinated. They were wrong. Dr. Mara stood in a laboratory filled with glowing panels and humming machines. Her eyes were focused on a large screen displaying the energy output of experimental weapons. "If we can synchronize the energy shields with the drones, we can create a defensive grid that can withstand most of their attacks," she explained to Leo, her assistant. Leo nodded. "And if we target the energy cores of their ships with precision, we can disable entire squadrons in minutes." Ray, now aboard an orbital defense station, watched the approaching fleet. Even from this distance, the size and number of alien ships were overwhelming. But Ray had studied every movement, every signal, and every formation. "Humans cannot match them in numbers," he said to Myra, "but we can outthink them. Speed, creativity, and strategy are our real weapons." On Earth, the military moved into position. Tanks, aircraft, and missile systems were placed in strategic locations. But the most important elements were hidden. AI-controlled drones hovered in orbit, invisible to the naked eye. They could attack with lightning speed, coordinate with energy shields, and relay information instantly. Humans had invested decades into these systems, not for aggression, but for survival. The aliens, confident in their superiority, had begun mapping Earth. Scout ships flew over oceans, mountains, and cities, recording every detail. They broadcast their data back to the fleet. "The humans have not surrendered," one alien commander said in a low, harsh tone. "They will comply or be destroyed." But already, the first glitches in their plans were appearing. False signals from human AI systems made the aliens misjudge the defenses. Back in the lab, Mara and Leo ran final tests. "The AI drones can now operate autonomously," Mara said. "They will respond to threats faster than any human or alien command can control." Leo smiled. "We are ready for them. When the first strike comes, we will be prepared." Meanwhile, Ray trained the pilots under his command. Each one knew that speed, intelligence, and precision were more important than firepower. They practiced maneuvers through simulated asteroid fields and space debris. Ray reminded them constantly, "The aliens do not expect humans to think differently. That is our advantage. Use it." The alien fleet continued its approach, unaware that humans had prepared not only defenses but traps. On the surface, energy grids hummed quietly, waiting to be activated. In orbit, drones hovered in perfect formation, ready to strike the moment the invaders attacked. Humans had studied the aliens' behavior patterns and weaknesses carefully. Every decision had been calculated to maximize effectiveness with minimal risk. Night turned to dawn, and the first light touched the edges of the fleet. Earth's defenders remained calm. Commander Ray looked out of the station's observation window, thinking about the people below. Families slept, unaware of the battle looming above. Cities and towns would become the front line if the aliens reached the surface, but humans had prepared for this. They had faith in their technology, their strategy, and each other. Mara turned to Leo. Once the attack starts, everything depends on coordination. The drones, the shields, and our signals must work together. One mistake, and we could lose a large part of the planet. Leo nodded, but he was confident. We have anticipated every scenario we could. The humans are ready. As the alien scouts neared Earth's orbit, the first signs of surprise appeared. The ships sent out probes to test human defenses. The probes moved faster than human pilots, but the AI drones reacted instantly. They intercepted the probes, rerouting them harmlessly into space. The aliens were confused. Why is the planet resisting? One commander demanded. They have no large fleet, no powerful weapons capable of matching ours. Ray smiled as he watched the fleet's reaction. They do not understand ingenuity, he said. Humans survive because we adapt. We improvise. That is why they will fail. Myra watched the screens carefully. They may have superior technology, but they cannot predict human thought. That is our greatest strength. On Earth, people went about their day without knowing that history was about to change. Schools, markets, and workplaces were filled with ordinary life, but beneath them, humanity's defenders waited. Hidden in bunkers, on orbital platforms, and in secret installations, humans prepared for the first battle. It would not be easy, and it would not be without risk, but they had an advantage the aliens could never measure: courage, intelligence, and the will to survive. As the alien fleet came closer, Commander Ray gave his final orders. Prepare all defensive systems. Activate the AI drones. Position the energy shields. When they strike, we strike faster. Remember, humans are unpredictable. That is our power. Let them come and see what it means to face humanity. The calm of preparation hung over Earth, but beneath it was determination. Humanity had a secret, and that secret was ready to be revealed. The first move would not belong to the aliens. Humans had waited for this moment. They were ready to fight, and the galaxy was about to see the strength of the human spirit. The first light of dawn spread across Earth, but far above, the sky was filled with shadows. The alien fleet had reached the outer edges of Earth's orbit. Commander Ray stood on the observation deck of the space station, watching the enormous ships move with precision. Every pilot, every drone, and every energy shield was ready. Humans had waited for this moment for decades, and the time had come to act. Ray turned to Lieutenant Myra. Remember, this is not about matching them in power. It is about speed, intelligence, and precision. Humans have something no other species has: creativity in the moment. Myra nodded, her hands steady on the control panel. Around them, other pilots checked their ships, ready for the orders that would change history. On Earth, Dr. Mara and Leo monitored the energy grids and drones. All systems are green, Mara said. The shields are activated, and the AI drones are in position. Once the alien weapons fire, we can respond instantly. Leo watched the screen, showing the alien fleet. They do not know what is coming, he said quietly. The aliens did not waste time. Their main weapons fired first, sending beams of energy toward Earth. Cities shook as shields flared to life, absorbing the attacks. Satellites trembled, but the hidden energy grids redirected the energy harmlessly into the atmosphere. The humans had anticipated the strikes, and nothing fell. Commander Ray gave the order. Now. From the space station and orbital platforms, AI drones surged forward, moving faster than the human eye could follow. They targeted the alien scouts first, striking with precision. The alien ships fired back, but the drones dodged, split, and regrouped instantly. The aliens were unprepared for such coordination and speed. In the chaos, human pilots flew daring maneuvers. Ray led a squadron through a field of debris, weaving around destroyed satellites and asteroid fragments. Each ship attacked weak points in the alien formation, targeting shields and weapon systems. The alien fleet had expected surrender, but instead, they faced a force that was fast, smart, and fearless. On Earth, energy grids and hidden weapons activated in coordination with the orbital drones. Buildings and mountains hid secret launch points, firing precision strikes at alien ships that thought themselves untouchable. Mara and Leo watched the results on the monitors. Entire squadrons of alien ships were disabled in minutes. They underestimated us, Mara said. They think size and firepower win battles, but strategy and intelligence can destroy even the strongest fleet. The aliens tried to regroup. Commanders barked orders, attempting to reorganize their attack. But humans were unpredictable. The drones moved in patterns the aliens could not anticipate. Pilots like Ray executed maneuvers that confused and disrupted the enemy. Every attack the aliens made was met with a precise counterattack. As the battle continued, the aliens realized they had misjudged humanity. They are fast, clever, and coordinated, one commander said. They do not follow the expected patterns. We cannot predict them. Machines whirred, shields flickered, and the confidence of the fleet began to crumble. Ray's squadron approached the largest alien ship, the command vessel. He studied it carefully, waiting for the right moment. Focus on the weak points, he instructed. Strike together. One precise hit can change the course of this battle. The pilots followed his orders perfectly, hitting the energy nodes that powered the alien shields. Sparks flew, and the command ship shuddered as its systems faltered. On Earth, humans watched the first success with quiet pride. Mara and Leo monitored the signals, making small adjustments to the AI drones and energy grids. Every human action was coordinated to amplify the effects of the attacks in space. The alien fleet, once confident and unyielding, was now in chaos. Ships collided, shields failed, and smaller crafts were disabled one by one. The first battle had shown a truth the aliens could not ignore: humans were not weak. Humans were resilient, intelligent, and capable of striking with precision and creativity. Commander Ray led his squadron in a final sweep of the outer fleet, disabling the last of the alien scouts. Myra reported, all orbital targets are neutralized. The main fleet is disoriented. Ray allowed himself a brief moment of satisfaction. This is only the beginning, he said. They have underestimated us, but they will learn. Humans survive because we think, adapt, and fight when others expect us to surrender. That is our real power. As the sun fully rose over Earth, the alien fleet hovered in disarray. Their weapons had been countered, their formations disrupted, and their confidence shaken. Humanity had struck first, not with overwhelming numbers, but with ingenuity, speed, and unity. The battle had begun, and the humans had already proved they could face even the most powerful invaders. On Earth, people continued their daily lives, unaware that above them, humans had achieved a victory that would be remembered for generations. Commander Ray looked to the stars and whispered, "This is what it means to fight for home. Let them see what humans can do." The first clash had ended, but the war was far from over. Humanity had survived the opening strike, and in doing so, had shown the galaxy that courage, intelligence, and unity could overcome even the mightiest foe. The alien fleet hovered above Earth, but their confidence had vanished. Ships that once moved with precision now struggled to maintain formation. Their command vessels struggled to issue orders as humans adapted faster than they could predict. Commander Ray watched from the orbital station, his eyes scanning the battle below. "They are confused," he said. "They expected surrender, not resistance. That is our advantage. We need to press it." Lieutenant Myra nodded. "We can take control of this fight if we act carefully. Focus on their weak points and continue coordinated attacks." Ray agreed. "Humans have something they cannot measure: creativity under pressure. Use it wisely." On Earth, Dr. Mara and Leo worked tirelessly. They had anticipated the alien tactics and set traps across the planet. Using AI-guided drones, they disrupted communications between the alien ships. Energy pulses from hidden grids caused shields to flicker and weapons to misfire. "Every move we make confuses them more," Mara said. "They think they are superior, but they cannot understand human thinking." Leo smiled as he adjusted the drone's positions. "This is our moment. Strike when they least expect it." Across Earth, secret weapon stations and orbital platforms activated simultaneously. Alien sensors registered sudden energy bursts in cities, mountains, and deserts. These bursts were not attacks alone, they were distractions designed to split the alien fleet's focus. Commander Ray led his pilots in daring maneuvers around the alien command vessels. Each attack was precise, targeting energy nodes and communication arrays. Smaller alien ships were drawn into traps, easily disabled by the combination of human drones and energy shields. The aliens had never faced an enemy that could move so quickly, think so creatively, and coordinate so perfectly. In the middle of the chaos, Mara monitored alien communications. "They are panicking," she said. "Their commanders are issuing conflicting orders. They do not know which threats to prioritize. We need to keep this pressure." Leo nodded. "The more confused they are, the weaker they become. Humans can exploit that." On the battlefield above Earth, the tide was turning. The alien fleet's outer defenses were collapsing. Ray's squadron disabled several cruiser-class ships with precise strikes to their energy cores. Myra piloted her craft between explosions, guiding drones to intercept reinforcements. Every action humans took amplified the effect of the others. The aliens were struggling to respond. On Earth, hidden launch platforms sent precision missiles to disrupt alien formations. These missiles were guided by AI drones, which calculated trajectories faster than any alien computer. Cities remained mostly safe, protected by energy shields. Humans had turned their planet into a fortress of strategy, where every move was calculated to maximize effect. The alien commanders realized their advantage had vanished. "They are too clever," one said in frustration. "Our weapons cannot predict their moves. They attack where we least expect. They destroy what we thought invincible." Their fleet staggered, shields failing, weapons misfiring, and smaller ships destroyed. The humans had turned the opening moments of battle into a devastating advantage. Ray and Myra coordinated a massive assault on the remaining alien forces. They focused on disabling command ships first. Once these were neutralized, the fleet would collapse. Using combined drone attacks and pilot maneuvers, human forces struck with speed and precision. Explosions lit up space as alien ships faltered and fell. The invaders had underestimated the humans' ability to adapt, and now it was their undoing. On Earth, Mara and Leo monitored the final stages. "The fleet is breaking apart," Mara said. Their communication is failing. Our strategies are working perfectly. Leo grinned. This is what happens when humans refuse to surrender. Creativity, courage, and intelligence overcome brute force. In the chaos, Commander Ray watched the alien fleet crumble. Ships collided, energy cores exploded, and the once mighty armada became a scattered group of struggling vessels. Keep the pressure, he ordered. Do not let them regroup. Humans win when we think faster and act smarter than the enemy. For the first time, the aliens faced defeat on a scale they had never imagined. Humans had used speed, intelligence, and creativity to destroy the invaders' confidence. The battle had turned completely, and Earth's defenders now controlled the fight. Ray looked out at the battlefield. This is what it means to fight for home. We are not the weakest. We are not just survivors. We are humans, and we will not be defeated. Myra nodded beside him, her eyes shining with determination. They expected surrender, but they found resistance instead. They underestimated us at every turn. On the planet below, humanity remained unaware of the full extent of the battle. But above them, humans had shown the galaxy that courage, strategy, and unity could overcome even the most powerful enemy. The tide had turned, and Earth was no longer in danger of immediate destruction. Humanity had begun to win, not with raw power, but with the qualities that made them unique: intelligence, resilience, and creativity. The aliens had learned a lesson they would never forget: humans could not be measured by size, technology, or firepower alone. Humans fought with heart, mind, and unity, and that combination was unstoppable. The alien fleet was in disarray. Their once perfect formations had collapsed under human strategy and innovation. Commander Ray watched from the orbital station as ships floundered, sparks flying from damaged hulls. Now is the moment, he said. We strike back, harder and faster. We finish what we started. Lieutenant Myra adjusted her controls. All pilots are ready, Commander. The AI drones are in position, and Earth's energy grids are synchronized. We can move as one force. Ray nodded. Good. Precision is key. Every attack must be coordinated. Humans can outthink them at every step. On Earth, Dr. Mara and Leo monitored the alien fleet's weaknesses. Their command ships are struggling to maintain control, Mara said. If we target them, the rest of the fleet will collapse. Leo smiled. We've prepared for this. AI drones will strike simultaneously with energy pulses from the grids. They will not know what hit them. Ray's squadron moved first, weaving through the debris of destroyed alien ships. Each maneuver was calculated, every shot precise. The drones followed, striking enemy energy nodes and weapon systems. Explosions lit up space as smaller alien ships were destroyed or disabled. The aliens had never faced opponents who combined intelligence, speed, and adaptability so effectively. The first command ship faltered. Ray directed a focused attack on its energy core. Missiles guided by AI drones struck simultaneously, overloading its shields. Sparks and fire erupted across its hull as systems failed. Other alien ships tried to assist, but human drones intercepted them, keeping the command vessel isolated. On Earth, energy grids amplified the attacks. Hidden launch platforms sent precise strikes at other alien ships, synchronized with drone attacks. Mara's calculations ensured maximum effect. Each strike was deliberate, minimizing risk to human populations while creating chaos among the invaders. Lieutenant Myra piloted her craft through the battlefield, coordinating with drones. Commander, the alien fleet is fragmented. They are trying to regroup, but their systems are failing. Ray observed the screens. Good. Keep the pressure. Humans win when they act together and think faster than the enemy. Strike where they are weak and unpredictable. The aliens realized they were facing a force unlike any they had encountered. Their tactics, their speed, they are not machines, one commander admitted. They think, they adapt, they coordinate in ways we cannot anticipate. We underestimated them. Ray's squadron, supported by AI drones, moved to finish the battle. They targeted the remaining command vessels and cruisers. Explosions rocked space as energy cores were destroyed. The fleet, once massive and confident, became a collection of scattered, struggling ships. Each human attack was precise, removing threats one by one. On Earth, Mara and Leo guided the AI drones to intercept fleeing ships. Hidden energy grids disabled alien engines, trapping ships for human pilots to finish. Every move was coordinated to maximize efficiency and minimize risk. Humans had turned Earth into a fortress and a trap, showing ingenuity the aliens could not match. Ray watched the largest alien ship, the command vessel, shake and spark from coordinated attacks. All units, focus fire on that ship. This is the key. Once it falls, the rest will collapse. Pilots executed perfect maneuvers, weaving around debris and disabled ships. Missiles and drones struck simultaneously. The ship shuddered violently and then exploded in a brilliant flash of fire and light. The remaining alien vessels panicked. Some attempted to flee, but AI drones intercepted them. Energy grids disabled engines, and human pilots finished the rest. Within moments, the once mighty fleet was reduced to scattered remnants drifting in space. The aliens had not expected resistance of this magnitude. They had underestimated humanity's speed, intelligence, and coordination. Commander Ray allowed himself a brief moment to breathe. "This is what humans are capable of," he said. "We fight with courage, intelligence, and unity. That is our strength." Myra smiled, her eyes reflecting the lights of exploding ships. They thought they were invincible. They did not know humans could think faster and act smarter than any machine. On Earth, people remained unaware of the full scope of the battle. Cities were safe, energy grids had protected populations, and AI systems had coordinated strikes with perfect precision. Humans had used strategy, technology, and creativity to turn what seemed like an impossible fight into a decisive victory. Ray looked out at the battlefield. Thousands of alien ships had been destroyed in a matter of minutes. The remnants of the fleet fled the solar system, broken and demoralized. Humanity had done what many thought impossible. They had survived an Imperial invasion not by sheer power, but by intelligence, unity, and courage. Mara turned to Leo. "They thought they could overwhelm us," she said. "They did not realize humans do not surrender. We fight to survive and protect what is ours." Leo nodded. "And we have shown them that the human spirit is unstoppable." The solar system fell silent. The alien threat had been annihilated. Humans had proven their strength in the face of overwhelming odds. Commander Ray and his team looked toward the stars, knowing this victory marked the beginning of a new era. Earth had defended itself not just with weapons, but with strategy, ingenuity, and the will to survive. Humans had faced a fleet of invaders and emerged victorious. They had shown the galaxy what it meant to fight for home. Courage, intelligence, and unity had won the day the last alien ship drifted silently away from the solar system, its engines crippled and crew in confusion. Commander Ray stood on the observation deck of the orbital station, watching the remnants of the once mighty fleet vanish into the darkness of space. For the first time, the vast Imperial threat that had loomed over Earth was gone. Humanity had survived, and more than that, they had won. Lieutenant Myra stood beside him, her face calm but filled with relief. "It is finally over," she said. Ray nodded, but his mind was already on the aftermath. "It is over for now," he said. "But we need to remain vigilant. This victory shows the galaxy that humans cannot be underestimated." On Earth, the people began to realize that something extraordinary had occurred. Reports came in from space stations, satellites, and observatories. The alien fleet had been destroyed, their command systems obliterated, and the survivors fled in defeat. Humans had done what no one thought possible: they had annihilated a superior, Imperial force using intelligence, strategy, and courage. In laboratories and command centers around the world, scientists and engineers celebrated quietly. Dr. Mara and Leo exchanged smiles. "We predicted their weaknesses," Mara said. "We prepared carefully, and humanity proved that strategy can overcome raw power." Leo nodded. "It was more than technology. It was human determination, courage, and creativity. That is what made the difference." Commander Ray addressed the pilots and orbital crews through the communications system. "Today, we have shown the galaxy the strength of humanity. We did not surrender. We did not panic. We adapted, we coordinated, and we fought together. Humanity is more than flesh and blood. We are courage, ingenuity, and unity." The crews cheered quietly, their voices carrying through the communication channels. Across Earth, ordinary people began to understand what had happened. Families hugged, relief spreading like sunlight across cities and towns. Children stared at the sky, imagining the battles that had occurred above them. For the first time, humans realized their own power and potential. They had faced an overwhelming threat and survived. Ray looked out of the station's observation window at the blue planet below. Earth seemed calm once more, as if nothing had happened. But everyone knew the truth. Humanity had changed. They had proven to themselves and the universe that they were not a weak species to be conquered. Humans were intelligent, adaptable, and brave. Humans were unstoppable when they fought for home. Mara and Leo returned to their laboratory, examining the remaining alien technology that had drifted into orbit. "We can learn from this," Mara said. "We now have the opportunity to understand their systems, improve our own technology, and be ready for whatever comes next." Leo nodded. "The universe has seen what humans can do. We have shown that courage and intelligence are as powerful as any weapon." Meanwhile, Commander Ray and his squadron received recognition for their actions. Pilots who had flown daring maneuvers, coordinated with drones, and struck critical targets were honored for their bravery. Ray remained humble, knowing that the real victory belonged to all of humanity, not just the fighters. The people of Earth, the scientists, the engineers, and even those who had prepared silently in shelters, had all played a part. As the sun rose fully over Earth, its light reflected off oceans, mountains, and cities, painting the planet in brilliant colors. Humanity had survived one of the greatest threats in history. They had faced an Imperial fleet and emerged victorious, not because of numbers or brute force, but because of courage, intelligence, and unity. Ray spoke softly to Myra. "Today is a reminder. Humanity is strong not because we have the biggest ships or the most weapons, but because we never give up. We think, we adapt, and we fight for each other." Myra smiled. "And the universe has learned that lesson. No one will underestimate humans again." In the skies above Earth, the last signs of the alien fleet disappeared. The solar system was quiet once more, a peaceful blue sphere in the vastness of space. Humans had proven themselves as defenders of their home. The victory was complete, and the legacy of courage, intelligence, and unity would be remembered for generations. Commander Ray looked to the stars, thinking of the future. "This is only the beginning," he said. "Humanity has shown its strength, and the universe will remember it. We have survived, and we will continue to thrive. We are humans, and we are unstoppable." On Earth, people celebrated, but also reflected on the cost and responsibility of victory. They had faced an enemy far stronger and survived through unity, strategy, and heart. Humanity had proven that when they fought together, they could overcome even the greatest odds. The solar system was safe once more, but the story of this victory would echo across the stars. Humans had fought with intelligence and courage, and the galaxy had taken notice. Humanity had won, and in doing so, they had set a new standard for what it meant to be strong, brave, and united.